So I should be on my way to Sebring, Florida right now. The plan was to volunteer for Super Sebring, working as a pit observer in pit lane for WEC. It's the same role I had just worked in Texas at Circuit of the Americas for the Lone Star Le Mans 6-hour Enduro. But because of coronavirus outbreak globally, all professional motorsport came to a screeching halt. And now I'm stuck at home like the rest of you, here home in New Jersey, making YouTube videos about my Hot Wheels collection. It's a collection inspired by motorsports that bring me back to various events I volunteered in over the years, and something I'd like to share with others on this YouTube channel. In this episode, I look back at Northeast Grand Prix, July of 2013 at Lime Rock, Connecticut, where I worked an IMSA and World Challenge event as a flag marshal. I think a lot of kids in America grew up collecting Hot Wheels cars and then learned about racing as they grew up. For me, it was the other way around, because I didn't grow up in this country. I watched and participated in racing first, and then started building my Hot Wheels collection. This was actually a blessing, because I thought I knew a lot about motorsports, but it wasn't until I started collecting Hot Wheels that I actually started researching what each race car was, where did it race, who did it race against, and who were the drivers that were behind the wheel who made it famous. Now, it's important to remember that Hot Wheels may not be the most accurate representation of the actual race cars out there. There are some models that are spot on, while others you kind of have to squint to see the resemblance. Of course, there are other brands that are much more detailed, but they're also much more expensive. So this is a pretty cheap and economical hobby to get involved in if you like motorsports, whether in the US or around the world. When I decided to make a short video of every car in my collection, it brought back a lot of memories, especially those of checking out the paddock, going on the grid walk, taking selfies with the grid girls, and watching the start of the race from turn 1 at Lime Rock. Now I know some of you watching will see the Lamborghini Gallardo Super Trofeo and say, well, that's not a Huracan Super Trofeo. I know it's not. But like I said, it's a collection inspired by motorsports, and motorsports builds over the years with new generations of cars, and those are the race cars that I like to add to my collection. Some cars like BMW Z4 Coupe have limited run in Europe, but there was an IMSA American Le Mans version in GTE class that look kind of similar, so you gotta squint and you'll see the resemblance. For this race, the C6.R Corvette was still running. In my collection I have the C7R, which I'll make another video from future motorsport events they are participated in, but it still looks similar. It's interesting to note that Hot Wheels came out with the Falcon Tire livery Porsche of a different vintage than 934, whereas a 993, I believe, 911 RSR raced with American Le Mans. Same livery, different car. From a distance, it looks period correct. Hot Wheels started getting really good in about 2018 with their releases of GT3 machines. Prior to that, in around 2016, they did come out with the Corvette C7R and Aston Martin V12 Vantage GT3 that looked a little cartoonish, but those are the cars that raced both in GT3 spec with the V12 and the GT4 spec with the V8. The cool thing about motorsport events, there's a lot of historic stuff that's on display. Porsche 962 was one of them at this Northeast Grand Prix. Lucky for me, I got a chance to see a bunch of them race at a Daytona 24-hour historic event with HSR a little bit later on. Probably the most accurate and period correct car in this video compared to my collection is the Viper GTS-R, which was racing on the SRT team, which looks exactly like the model car. Same livery, same colors, same everything, except different race number. And finally, I'll mention a Cadillac Racing and World Challenge. This version is the CTS-V.R, which preceded the Hot Wheels release of ats-v.r. But again, it was definitely what inspired me to start my collecting. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked and enjoyed. Please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content coming up, and share it with your friends. I'm kind of new to this, so hopefully the videos will improve over time. Normally, I would recommend for people to come out to motorsports events and show your enthusiasm. Volunteer if you want to get closer to the cars. But the smart thing to do right now is stay home and be safe. So enjoy the YouTube channel. See you soon. Cheers.